Welcome back. Listen, we're going to get into something that you're going to run into a lot when trading the strat. Now, a lot of people don't know how to trade it. It's called gaps, morning gaps. It's going to happen to you a lot. SPY gaps up a lot, BABA gaps up a lot, QQQ gaps up a lot. So what you're going to do is you're going to mark the high and a low of that 15-minute candle, right? And in the strat, you're going to spend all weekend, all night charting these trades, and you might chart 5 or 10 tickers. And I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes 9 of them gap up. And it's like, what do I do in that situation? It's like I done gapped up. It's gapped up past my levels. It's hit PTs already. It's my first PT. It's in my second PT. What do I do? Well, let's continue to push up. Do I enter up here? What do I do? Do I wait for it to come down? How do I trade this situation? So what you do is, no matter the candle that opened, a 3, 2, or 1, you're going to mark the high and the low, basically just like you would do an inside candle, right? Now, in this situation, you wait for the 15-minute candle to close. You mark the high and the low, right? You wait for the next 15-minute candle to close. So now you're at 30 minutes. You're going in just the first 15 minutes. You're going into the next 15 minutes of the market, almost 30 minutes in, right? So in this situation, we got an inside candle. So what you want to do is you're going to mark that inside candle also because it didn't break the high or the low of the previous candle. Rather, it was a 3, a 2, or 1, right? So boom, that is going to be where you're going to mark it, right? So these 2 green lines is going to be your entry. So now you're 30 minutes in. This closes, 30 minutes in, next candle opens. Boom, it breaks your entry level, right? Your entry level for puts was 117.91, 117.92, you're entering. Boom, you're falling through this gap, right? Your profit target is going to be the previous candle from the previous day or week, right? At market open, that is going to be profit target 1, right? Profit target 2 would be here in this situation, right? And as you can see, we did a 2, 1, 2. This is 45 minutes into the market. This candle goes in, this one goes in force, pushes through. That's profit target 1, profit target 2, and that's profit target 3. And as you can see, we actually continued down and took out this level at profit target 4, right? So it gapped up in the morning. You're like, man, should I just hop in the call since it's up here and think it's going to push up? And no, it actually gapped and it cracked. And look what happened. And it came back up, retested, and then went through. So that is how you play a gap up, right? It did a 2-1-2. It still did a strat setup. Thing about it is it took 45 minutes. You have to be patient. Actually, it took longer than that. Just for it to hit the second profit target here, it actually took 45 minutes, or an hour, actually, because you're 45 minutes here, you're an hour here, and then hit the third profit target at an hour and 15 and continued on. So the strat is all about patience. First 15-minute candle, mark the high and the low. Second 15-minute candle, if it breaks the high and the low of that first 15-minute candle, you enter for puts or you enter long in your profit target. Now in this situation, if this had went long on the second candle, right, or even this third candle, your profit target would have been here, and then your second one would have been here, right? And if you had charted that particular stock the night before, you should already have levels up to this area because you would already had your profit targets marked for on those daily levels or those weekly levels or monthlies, whatever, the case may be where you found them at from previous weeks, right? So let me give you another scenario that you might see because this actually did a 2-1-2. So then you might say, okay, well, what if this first candle didn't exist, right? This is your first candle of the day. Opens up, gaps up, right? It does a 2, a 3, or 1, whatever. You do the same thing. You mark it. What if the second 15-minute candle of the day decides to choose a direction, come down? Same thing. You take entry at the break of that line or the break above that line, 1 penny above, and your PT would have been up here, right? Or your profit target, your price target would have been here, right? This would have been your first one instead of this one being your second one, because this doesn't exist. We're looking at this as your first 15-minute candle of the day. This is your second. So you're 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes into the market. And same thing applies. First PT, second PT, third PT, if you would decide to get that far. And that's how you play gaps. It's just that simple. Same setups, right? Except for if the first 15-minute gap's up and then the second candle, 15-minute candle, opens up and decides to choose a direction, you still should have these marked from that first 15-minute candle, even if it goes 1, 2, or 3, because whatever direction it chooses, that's where you take your position at. Like in this situation, this is a gap and crap. Gapped up, couldn't make a new high, and push back down, filled that gap. And when you're filling gaps or you're trading gaps, the closest wick is your first PT or your second PT, et cetera, right? And then it goes, to the bottom in the previous week's wicks or day's wicks. So, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever the case may be. But that is how you trade gaps. So in this scenario, we gapped up, did a 2 up, inside candle, and a 2 down, directional in force, right? 2, 1, 2, right? Perfect strat setup. It's just gapped up in the air. No different, right? This setup would have been your first 15-minute candle. It was a 1, and then it decided to choose a direction of a 2. So you basically, really, if you see this strat setup, it's a 1, 2, 2. If this was a 3, it would have been a 3, 2, 2, right? If this was a 2 candle and then gapped and crap, it would have been a 2 up, 2 down, and then 2 down continuation, right? So it's all strat setups. It's just how you see it. But the most important thing is marking a high and a low and being patient and waiting for the next 15-minute candle. And if that 15-minute candle is inside, wait for the next 15-minute candle, which means you could end up taking your first trade of the day 45 minutes into the market, right? It's called being patient because we're not guessing. We looking to know where price is going with high probability. And once we break these levels, we have a higher probability of going to the downside. If we break this level here, we have a higher probability of going to the upside because we have those levels and we've been patient and waited and we're buying with the buyers and selling with the sellers, right? So that's my video on gaps. Hope that helps you out. Continue on with the course.